What's up, YouTubers? I've been researching Paraguay, residency in Paraguay. Anyways, you'll never guess who I ran across or who's flogging Paraguayan residencies. Um, Barry Cooper. For those of you who don't know, as far as I know or knew, Barry Cooper was in Mexico. He's a dude who used to work for the DEA. He had some issues. I don't know I forget what they were. And then he left the United States, went to Venezuela for a short time. He ended up in Mexico, or at least that's how I remember it. Leave it in the comments if you think I got it wrong. Anyways, last I had heard, he was in Acapulco with that Canadian chap, and they were doing well. I don't want to say they were. They do that conference every year in Acapulco about bugging out and you know Anarchapulco. I'll just call it Anarchapulco. Anyways, there was some recent videos on anarchists going to and other libertarian types going to Mexico, living there, doing their thing. And it's kind of a spiritual hippy dippy group and kind of a drug group and just a whole bunch of different people. And I'm bringing that up for a reason because when I think it was HBO, did this series, they were pointing out at least a couple people were killed down there. And for what it's worth, I kind of know a little bit about that. I don't want to say too much, but it's partly why I don't like to go to these groups where everyone's hanging out together and doing their thing and kind of getting too comfortable doing shit out in the open and publicly. I don't really care what people do, but one of the dudes that was shot and killed was selling stuff that he shouldn't. Well, this is not my opinion. He shouldn't be sold, but he was asked very nicely. Again, this is my opinion of the situation. He was asked in a kind of polite way to stop doing what he's doing, and he told people to go pound sand. Eventually, someone put a hole in his head, and it's very traumatic. It happened in front of his girlfriend or wife, as I recall. Now, the reason I bring all that up is back in those days, at least Barry Cooper was down there, as far as I knew. Anyways, he has two videos on his on another website flogging residencies for Paraguay because it's just on my radar right now, and just right I have it on my head. The Paraguayan guarani is at almost 7,000 to 1. Back in the day, I remember being at 3,500 or 4,500. It may have been 4,500. Now it's at 7,000, so it's down 40%. It may be down half, but I can't remember if it got down to 3,900 or not. I'll just call it 4,500 or 4,300 from my memories. Anyways, Barry Cooper's promoting. He's going in with a German group. Not surprising there because of all the German influence down there. He's flogging these residencies, and his fee is 5,500 plus you got to deposit 5,000. It's a little less than 5,000 now, but into a bank, and then you get your paperwork and all that. Anyways, I'm not. This is not a video to badmouth them or say anything bad. It's just it's funny running across him because I was researching that, and I got the impression he's married. He may not be living in Paraguay, but I got the impression for the video he's either living in Paraguay or he living in the Philippines because he made part of the little video was his parrot escaped into the Philippine jungle, as he likes to call it. So kind of interesting if he actually still is there or not. I'm not sure. Anyways, the fact that he ended up in the Philippines was no surprise to me. He's actually, if I remember right, because I reached out to him and I had some conversations with him. Me and him are the same age, and we kind of like were on the opposite side of things when we were in our youth. Let's just put it that way. We were on the opposite sides, and we both ended up in Latin America, and looks like now he ended up in the Philippines for what it's worth. Anyways, it's kind of interesting. But I don't know if he's actually got a residency or if he's just promoting it in Paraguay. I kind of assume, which I probably shouldn't, that he is not in Paraguay, but he may very well be. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know if that's an interest to any of you history buffs out there who keep up with all the drama going on in Mexico from Acapulco in those good old days. I never really got down there and did that when they were doing the kind of the sexual assaults and some of these other things that came up, which is kind of sad to talk about. I don't really want to talk about it. I was never involved in that stuff, but there's a lot of kind of stuff like that going on down there. It's why I really never. Well, I don't want to say who, but someone reached out to me to do some stuff down there, and I didn't want to get involved because all that stuff I heard in the background, it just was unsavory. Anyways, just for those of you who don't know, I'm just I'm researching for opportunities in Paraguay, and then part of the reason is I can't remember where I saw it, but Some of the banks down there are hooked up in Switzerland. I'm trying to see in Austria. I'm trying to see if you get the residency, if you can store assets in a kind of a backdoor way through Switzerland with only the residency card. I'm not sure if that'll work or not. I'm just kind of researching that. But most of the residencies are like 5,000, yeah, 5,000 for the legal fees, and then 5,000 for the deposits, and then whatever you got to pay to go down there and do it. I mean, to go actually go down there, you got to actually go down there for a few days to a week, and it takes. They're saying 3 to 6 months. Other people are saying now because COVID's over 1 to 3 months. I don't know. It's Latin America. Things take longer than normal. Anyways, depending on what I come up with research, I may run down there and do some stuff that's residency related into banking. If there is a backdoor to Austria or Switzerland, or to what's that one country? That country between Spain, no, it's not Spain and Italy, Spain and France. That little place up there. If there's a backdoor through the banking there, because nowadays it's hard for an American, even if you have a foreign documents, to get banking in those places. But sometimes if you do stuff through like South America, sometimes there is, at least for a little while. Anyways, that's it for now. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Thanks.